65.
It's all about being aware in the leg.
Game shot.
Knowing what your opponent... So just knowing what your opponent is on can make a big difference, even not mathematically. We talk about the rhythm of a visit. So if you've got a 2 or 3 dart checkout, you want to go to the board, you know, if there's a ball at the end of it, do I go for it? Because you don't want to stop, then check the score, and that takes you out of your rhythm. You are not giving yourself the best chance of throwing the best possible dart and winning the leg.
Joe Cullen has beaten Steve Beaton 6-3 in a meeting between the bronzed Adonis, the
96.
housewife's favourite and the apparent heir to that throne.
Speaking of which, when is Mr. Gilding in action? He was looking very good yesterday. Only denied by Gerwyn Price. He already's beaten Jose Justicia over on board 14, so he'll be taking on the winner of the final first-round game on board 14, which is Jurjen van der Velde, a very talented young player from the Netherlands, and his fellow Dutchman, Jeffrey de Zwaan.
I'm just flicking through the results. We haven't lost that many seeds in the first round of matches. I mean, they've all played now.
100.
Quick count, and I can only see 4. We'll come back to that.
Treble 16, not found by Ross Smith. May have looked at tops there if Krzysztof was on a finish.
Yeah, so only Roby John Rodriguez, Gerwyn Price, Danny Noppert, who lost to Raymond van Barneveld, and Martin Lukeman knocked out of seeds
59.
in the opening round.
Yeah, Martin Lukeman's not had the greatest start to 2023. Could be a difficult follow-up year after that brilliant breakthrough last year. Ross Smith looking for a follow-up year after his best year as well. And he's got into this game.
$100.
Yeah, difference in pace of play and quality of play based on the last match that we were treated to, but it was going to always be difficult to live up to that, and it's still a decent standard, this game. Both players in the mid to high 90s after 3 legs.
$140.
Yeah, impressed with Kciuk so far. Let's see if he can maintain this for the whole game. If he can, Ross Smith's in trouble.
100.
He has thrown a handful of 3-figure averages in his career, but not many.
There's a little spell where he was playing some brilliant darts. Did he not reach a semi-final or
100.
Quarter-final? I think he was had a few hundred averages.
Hit 110 against Hendo at the Winter Series in 2020. And it was around then that when he was getting a lot of averages in that range. In fact, 3 of his 10 PDC ton plus averages came in that Winter Series, November of 2020.
99.
Yeah, one of those players who's had little spells where it suggests that there could be more to come, and then it's not really materialised. But Krzysztof Kciuk, certainly one of the leading lights from Poland, an emerging nation in darts. Obviously, Ratajski is the main man, but Sebastian Białecki also a very promising young player. And this is a promising situation for Kciuk.
Game shot.
Thumbs up, 3-1.
Yeah, he has played in the World Cup with Ratajski as well, representing Team Poland.
$100.
Yes, 2020, the Winter Series. He went last 16 quarter-final, last 16 in 3 consecutive days, and that's when that did coincide with a bunch of those big averages. So that little period there was probably his most purple of patches, but the following year, a few months later, did have a semi-final on the tour. So he does have days, Kciuk, where he's in the mix at the back end.
And that was over in Germany a couple of years ago now.
46.
Plenty of darts action to come as well on PDC TV. Of course, it is Premier League week. Every week is Premier League week for the foreseeable future. The UK Open just around the corner as well. And next weekend,
60.
you've got the choice of either the European Tour or the Women's Series, or both. Women's Series getting underway early in the day. At 10 AM starts, I do believe. And the first European Tour event of the year from Germany getting underway on Friday.
Slight admin question. If you've got a PDC TV login, can you watch them both at the same time? Like if you had two different devices? I don't know that.
Yeah, I think you probably can, because I've seen people post before that they have been watching two things, but whether they're doing that in their own creative way.
Through one of the many bookmakers partnerships that the PDC has established. Or they've got one of those, yeah, you know, the little USB thing. Yeah,
back to the darts.
Yeah.
Value for money PDC TV.
It is. Well, 85. You've just seen the match play tickets flying out the door, and the vast majority of those, maybe all of them, have gone to people with priority subscriptions because they're PDC TV members. How about this? Krzysztof Kciuk, double 18 for an absolute monster. How about that? Krzysztof Kciuk is taking it to the European champion here. And Ross Smith, who would have been the heavy favourite for this one, he's shaking his head. What can he do against that?
Yeah, never mind Ross Smith. Kciuk Krzysztof in the Premier League. With darts like that, fabulous stuff. Maybe it's going to be one of those days.
91.
I've already said he does have them. And it would be funny if Krzysztof Kciuk, a man who, he has the nickname, he has the dart shirts, he has all of that. What if he did have his best day on the Pro Tour and win a title, and he just turned up with his plain T-shirt and jeans?
I mentioned that we'd only lost 4 seeds, by the way. What I had overlooked is that one seed is still playing, and it's the number 1 seed, and they are losing 5-3. Luke Humphries behind against Belgium's Mario van den Behaarde.
Dangerous player is Super Mario. Wily old character. Mind you, Luke Humphries, he very nearly came from behind yesterday when he was eventually beaten on this streaming board.
Trying to fathom why he's still playing, but just looking at his board, both of the first 2 games went the distance. 6-5 Jamie Hughes against Ricardo Pietreczko, 6-5 Robert Owen against Darius Labanauskas.
Well, Owen, Labanauskas, Pietreczko, not the quickest of players, and the full 11 legs of those probably has held things up a little bit.
Can Ross Smith halt the progress of Kciuk?
Doesn't look like it, does it?
Might not have a say in it.
121.
That seemed to bounce off the barrels of the darts that were in the treble 20 and only scoring 1 point.
Frustrations here for Ross Smith, just trying to keep a lid on it.
And I can now confirm that Luke Humphries has been beaten in round 1. So the number 1 seed
39.
knocked out.
So the number 1 seed is out, and Gerwyn Price. So that's the 2 highest ranked players in the tournament. I think the world numbers 4 and 5, because we don't have Van Gerwen, Smith or Wright here. But we do have Krzysztof Kciuk, and he's taken out 104 checkout. The last 3 legs, he's taken out 62, 156 and 104. Krzysztof Kciuk is blitzing Ross Smith here.
134.
Yeah, just back to that point. Danny Nopper also knocked out. So we're now in a tournament where, well, 3 of the top 8 didn't come, and then another 3 of the top 8 have been knocked out. Rob Cross now the highest ranked player in the event.
Yeah, Johnny Clayton, the next highest ranked, and top of the averages list coming into today's action and continuing to throw well.
Ross Smith just outside the top 16
92.
at the moment. I mean, a really good run today could move him into it, but it doesn't look like he's going to have any run at all.
56. 58.
Well, again, we see Krzysztof Kciuk there. He did have options from 309 that would give him more of an opportunity to leave a finish. He decided not to go for those options.
Ah, why bother?
135.
Hey, look, whatever he's doing is working for him so far, isn't it? Not in this leg, granted, but it has worked in 5 of the previous 6.
Well, he's going to leave a finish here.
81.
Told you.
Kind of want to see Kciuk have a go at the 170. Ross Smith doesn't.
19.
But he's got no choice. And Kciuk, 156, 104 in consecutive legs. A 170 to win the match, to complete an astonishing display of finishing. Ooh, not going to happen.
Well, Smith to take a step.
96.
He's lost the last 3 legs of this match. They're usually so good on this target, but if he comes in the same direction, then he would have got that dart in. But Ross Smith is cutting a dejected figure, and he might be about to be ejected from this tournament. The target he couldn't hit is hammered by Kciuk, who has hammered Ross Smith, the European champion, sent packing in the opening round, and it's a double thumbs up from the Pole, who goes off dancing through to the second round. He will take on Nathan Aspinall, and that could be a very decent game based on what we saw from both players. A 6-1 success for Krzysztof Kciuk. Ross Smith, well, the finishing there from the Pole, absolutely excellent. 75%, an average of 98.23. Nobody can say he didn't deserve it. The second round action getting underway in a few moments' time here at Players Championship 4. Do join us for Chris Dobey against Andy Bolton next.